Hi, we finally got the beta for Medal of Honor for Xbox 360. It only took a month, haha. So I was definitely thrilled to play this. I played this for about 2 hours before I did this review, just so I could kind of get familiar with the game and see what I like and what I don't like. I watched a lot of YouTube videos from PC gamers and PS3 gamers, so I was pretty familiar with the maps and the guns, and heard a lot of feedback, but I wanted to have my own feedback for Dice. I'm not sure if they're watching it, would be nice, because there's definitely some things that could be addressed. The game overall looks very sweet, and the guns feel really good. What I noticed is that you have to basically get a headshot if you want to be quicker than the enemy, unless you shoot them in the back or some other way where they can't see you, where you see them first. That's a little bit frustrating because the game is so realistically made that you expect the shooting to be very realistic too, and you know too well that, you know, if somebody gets shot in the legs, he cannot run after you, or even if somebody gets shot in the belly, that person will definitely lay down flat pretty quick and not do any harm to you anymore. So that's a bit frustrating. I know that's the same issue in other games, but it's very strongly emphasized here that you only basically have them fall down flat if you shoot them in the head right away. And that means you have to be extremely skilled in aiming, and I would not consider myself like such a skilled shooter in gaming. I got some good kills here, but often I had a hard time to actually distinguish between the enemy and my own men, because they're not really marked in any way, like with red and green. There's not really any difference between the enemy and your own guys, especially in this map where everything is like kind of grayish beige. Everybody seems to look the same, so you have to always kind of take a good look at them, and that often makes you fail shooting somebody because you're thinking, oh, is that an enemy or not, and then there you go, they shoot you first. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that just run gun and just like shoot everything that moves, but that's not really my style. I mean, if you did that in real life, you most likely would always shoot all your enemy team, and in hardcore matches that would be a big issue. So I would love them to improve this, and it would be a much more satisfying game. You can see here some clips where I just die, because another issue is that whenever you die, it's not coming up right now, but I made some clips in a row where I die, because what I wanted to point out is that when you die, there's a 1 to 2 second freezing issue. So it's like, it always feels like your Xbox is basically stopped running for 1 to 2 seconds every time you die, which is kind of confusing. It throws you off. It's not a smooth animation where you just die and you kind of see your killer run away, or you still see some movements until you slightly fade away, which also would be something that they could take from reality, and they have done really well in Call of Duty, and I think in Battlefield it's much better too than here. The point system I like. So here, what I thought was kind of weird, all of a sudden you have like a white sight, red dot sight, and I don't know, I didn't have it at first, and all of a sudden I have a white sight, and I don't know if what that means really. I haven't seen anybody talk about it. I haven't seen anything, because it's a beta, they don't really tell us. There's no instructions or anything, so it was kind of annoying at first. It was like, this thing is really in the way, it's like blinding me. Here's all the clips where I die, and you can just see every time you get shot, there's this like 1 to 2 second delay, and I found that a bit annoying. That's probably a minor issue, but I thought that could be something they could be make a little nicer. You can definitely see there's always a delay, and I also found out that a lot of times I shoot them first, empty a whole clip, and then they still shoot me. That could have something to do with my internet connection being a bit slower than theirs, or it could be a definite issue in the game. That's something I couldn't really review, I'm not sure. I thought that the red dot sights kind of make the gun a little more accurate, and the extended mags, it's definitely something that's good to have, and it's also good to pump the weapon instead of just spray. It's like in any other shooter game, it's basically the same thing. Also, another tip is that shooting from the hip is a lot of times saving your life. It's more in this game than on the other game that you almost like have a better chance shooting from the hip, especially with people dancing around you all the time. And here you can see the scoreboard and the skill ranking, where you rank up. So here's Helmand Valley, and that's, for some reason, surprisingly, I like this map better, although I didn't really look forward to it, but I really like it now. It's an open map, wide open in nature and stuff, but it somehow has a lot of coverage. It's a very exciting environment. There is snipers, but you can stake them out, you can flank them. It's a lot of flanking routes, a lot of walls, a lot of big rocks to hide in. So I definitely almost had like more fun in this map than in Cobble City map. So another thing that I wanted to mention, which happened to me in this map actually, is that I got stuck on a tank barrier, rusty tank barrier, and I couldn't free myself. I literally got stuck and had to wait until somebody shot me, which that's something I think they should clean up all that, because that can be, if you're like in a winning match, and you know, that could really get you from winning and be extremely frustrating. So I hope they find all those places and people report those places where they get stuck. Unfortunately, I wasn't filming when that happened to me, and I couldn't find that barrier anymore afterwards to redo it. I guess I just didn't want to get stuck again, huh? The grenade thrower, there's a grenade thrower in this, and an RPG, and they feel good, but the RPG is not bad, but the grenade thrower is not as good as in other games. It's kind of like not really sure what it does. I mean, where the grenade really shooting, if it really shoots at where you're pointing it at or what's going on, but I shot it in a bunch of people and nothing happened, so it's not as effective as you would expect. Not sure if that's something that can be improved. Here I'm calling in a UAV. When you have certain skill streak, you get UAV or mortar. You can choose between the two, and I usually get a UAV because I find this much more effective to know where your enemies actually are, see them on the minimap, than get a mortar. And a lot of times you miss the enemy team with the mortar, so you got nothing, and your team didn't get anything either. So it's kind of more like a selfish way with the mortar. Here you can see all the settings, the leaderboards and the stats, and what you will get in the future, and how many kills you have, and so forth and so on. It's actually basically what you have in other games. With the weapon customization, it's pretty clear, it's very neat, you can, you know, easy to understand, there's not too much, not too little. The weapons are very good, there's a lot to choose from, and they do feel good. They don't feel like little plastic guns like in some other games. Like I said, the iron sight is what you start out, the red dot is what you get after playing about an hour or two, depending on how good you are. The sniper rifle looks like a real sniper rifle here, but when you actually select that, you get a rifle with a red dot, which is very confusing. Not sure if that's an error or if that's intention. You have to earn the scope later on. So I was trying to change my button layout because I like to have tactical layout with the B button being knifing and the D-pad being crouching, but that's not possible you can't change your button layout at all, which is extremely frustrating because I hate having to hit the B button in order to crouch. It's kind of like an extra step and it makes you slower. So that's basically it for this review. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.